Okay, today's project is going to be inspired by fall with the leaves, as well as the use of warm colors and cool colors. So we're going to review those and also get you practicing with different shapes, lines, colors, and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you how to do is draw the leaf and the inside part of the leaf, which is what I call the skeleton. It's the inside part, the structures that help hold the leaf together. Then what I'm going to do is show you how to break up the space in the background to create different spaces for your patterns and designs. So first, let's draw the leaf. So all you're going to do is draw a line. It can be a straight line or it can be a slightly curved line. That part is up to you. I'm going to do a straight line with my pencil. And then what I'm going to do next is draw the curved line on one side and a curved line on the other. If you turn it this way, it kind of looks like a football shape. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to pick a spot. Here's where I want the bottom of the leaf part to be, right here, and the top right there. So I put 2 dots there to help guide me and remember where to start and stop. So if it's easier for you to turn your paper and draw your line that way, you could do that. I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm going to start at the top, curve around and back down to that spot, and then do the same thing on the other side. There we go. Okay, so the next part is to draw the skeleton or the inside part. Those are called the veins. That's where the water gets soaked up and gets the leaf its life and energy. So I'm going to draw those parts. So that's an important part of a leaf. There we go. There's my leaf. So now what we're going to do is break up the space around the leaf to create sections for our patterns and designs. So there's really no perfect way to do this. You can use straight lines, you can use curvy lines, zigzag lines, it's up to you. On this one, I used a bunch of straight lines, so that's what I'm gonna do. One there, maybe one over here to balance it out. I'm gonna put one here, here, another one, another one. And now what I'm going to do is go back in and add some more lines to break up these spaces a little bit. So one down here, maybe one here. There's no right or wrong way to do this part. Get creative. See, it's almost starting to look a little bit like stained glass, which is pretty cool. I like that. Okay, there we go. I like the way that that looks. So now what I'm going to do is move on to the second part. So what I'd like you to do next is outline it. Now for this one, I used warm colors for the leaf itself. So I used warm color crayons to color it inside, and I used a warm color marker, red, to outline the leaf. And then on the outside parts, I only used cool colors. So what I'd like you to do is choose whether you want warm or cool. You're going to have to use both. Whatever you decide to do for your leaf, you should do the opposite for your background. So for this one, I have warm in the leaf and cool for the background. For this one, I think I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do cool for the leaf and warm colors for the background and see how that looks. Okay, so I've chosen my colors. This is what I'm going to use for the background for my patterns and outlining. This is the color that I'm going to use for my leaf. So all I'm going to do is just trace right over top of the pencil lines with my colored marker. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the background and outline all those lines with my cool colors, or my warm colors. After you finish outlining, then I want you to take those same colors that you used to outline the background and start adding some patterns and designs in each space. All right, to finish these off, the third step is to use crayons to color. Now, your leaf, whatever color scheme you use to outline the leaf, so I used cool colors to outline my leaf in this one, I'm going to use cool colors to color that leaf. Since I used warm colors around the outside part, the designs around the outside, I'm going to use warm colors to color those in. Okay, so when you're all finished, your whole picture should be colored. There shouldn't be any white spaces left over. I want to show you a trick really quickly, how to make your crayons kind of blend into one another like this. Okay, so you're going to take your crayons, start with either one. I have one that's darker and one that's a light green, so I think I'm going to start with the darker of the two. So what I'm going to do is very lightly color. I'm not coloring the whole thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is stop with the blue and switch to the green and leave a little white space between the blue and the green. So I'm not coloring right next to the blue and the green. With the green, I'm leaving a white space, and that's important for making it blend seamlessly into each other and kind of create a color change or a shift in color, kind of like, almost like ombre, if you know what ombre is. It's a gradual color change between one color to another color. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take my blue and fill in that empty space. Remember, you're coloring lightly. Don't press too hard with your crayon, otherwise this is not going to work quite as well. You're coloring lightly, and you're just going to overlap a little bit into that green. So you start to see the colors kind of mix and blend. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is use my green and overlap into the blue. So that color is gradually changing from blue to blue-green to green. That's how we create a color change or color shift by blending colors. So now I'm going to go back with my blue and finish the top. Remember, leave a space between. Leave a space between your colors. And then you can go with your blue and overlap into the green. And then take your green and overlap into the blue. So we have a gradual color shift, a change in color from blue to blue-green to green, back to blue-green, and back to blue. All right. Now, to finish this up, I'm just going to use my warm color crayons and finish coloring the entire background.